All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to Nap Family Racing. Um, this is going to be a short, sweet video because I'm still not feeling 100%, especially after my first day back to work after the wreck. But I was kind of going through some stuff in the gear bag and getting everything kind of where it needs to be. Packed up and whatnot, and I came across something that was startling, I guess. More so startling because either I don't remember or I didn't realize that it happened. But we took a header off the bars. You can see that blue streak right there. The only blue bar left near me is this front pillar right here. So for my head to have moved that much, it leads me to believe that these belts had to stretch at least an inch, maybe more. Definitely probably more, probably right around 2 inches. 2.5 inches would have had to stretch out to give me enough mobility to kind of get up and get into that. And I think it was the centrifugal force of when we got whipped around, leaning into the belts and just holding onto the steering wheel. I think I probably assisted by trying to pull the steering wheel to me, just out of reflex. But either way, we took a header off the bars, which is never what you want. It's super bad. So, with that being said, it could have been way worse had I not gone with such high quality belts that are built to have a little bit of stretch in them without them obviously ripping apart, anything like that. They do have the nylon inside of them, which allows them to stretch. I have to measure, and I'm going to check them 2-3 times. But if they stretch, they're junk. So we're going to need new belts. But if I had a lower quality belt, one that didn't allow my body to kind of stretch a little bit and relieve that pressure, could have broke a collarbone. Or if I had one that just had no elasticity at all and it snapped, I could have taken a real bad header. So the fact that we just, grazed it to the point where I don't remember it happening. It's not a huge scuff on the helmet. It's enough to where it's alarming that this part of my head hit this bar, because that means that the rest of my head was dang near up here in the little triangle, which would be kind of on top of the steering wheel, which I already sit pretty close to the steering wheel. That thing's about right here, but I would have had to be over the top of that thing. So I'm very happy that I was wearing my neck protection. I'm very happy that I had a quality helmet that made it so it took me 3 days before I realized that I connected my head to anything on this race car. And obviously I'm just happy that I have a strong cage, because that was a whale of a shot that we took. Really the only thing that I'm still kind of struggling with is the left side of my back, from like right underneath my shoulder blade to like the mid low back, just is tight, real tight. If I'm standing still and like standing up for too long, it kills. A little bit of neck stiffness turning it this way, not so much this way, which is odd. And I have pretty good mobility forward and back, but it's a little stiff coming back this way. And the neck stiffness is kind of giving me some minor migraines. They're not, I don't even know if they're migraines. They're probably just like decently good headaches. I don't really get headaches often, so any headache that I get, I would consider a migraine. But yeah, that's about it. Hands, wrists, all feel good. And that's just kind of understanding protocol of if you're going for a ride, hang on. Don't hook your thumbs in, have them out, things like that. That just, you hope come natural in those situations, but it's just something that's been beat into me since I was a kid, before I even never drove a race car. It was beat into me when we were driving go-karts in the backyard of my grandpa's house. If you get upside down, you don't let go and try to stop yourself. You hold onto the wheel and you wait for that thing to hit. And so I'm glad that I was able to perfect that form when it came time to do it subconsciously. I also want to give a shout out to the track crew. The whole thing, I don't have much of a concept of time as far as how long everything took, because coming out of 2 and seeing the car right in front of me slow, way off the pace, and me getting into the brakes and turning the car just a little bit, and then getting up underneath that car and then clobbered, it was all slow motion. That wreck could have took 5 minutes as far as my brain's concerned. But then it felt like as soon as the dust settled in the car, there was somebody at my window asking me if I was all right and trying to help me get out of the car while I was searching for my breath. And then once I was out of the car, they kind of let me go get my wind real quick. They hooked the car up, and when I was feeling good enough to where I was getting ready to just walk to the pits, like, yeah, we need you to steer this thing if you're able to. I was like, yeah, all right, we'll get in here. So thank you to those guys. It felt like they were there in a hurry, and they took good care of me to help get us on the trailer and ensure that we were able to get the car home and get it taken care of. So thank you to the ARAT track crew. I really appreciate you guys. But the PSA for today is make sure that your safety equipment is up to date, in date, and good quality stuff, because if you bounce your head off the bars, I hope that you're like me and you don't really remember it, because it wasn't a very hard shot, hopefully. But other than that, until next time, we'll be seeing you.